And we got another guest to discuss the latest news and trends with Andrius Kubilius, the member of the European Parliament, who joins me now.
Pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure. So, weather conditions are getting worse in Ukraine due to large-scale Russian shelling. The Ukrainian energy system is on the verge of the total collapse. How will Europe help survive this winter?
Well, exactly today in the Foreign Affairs Committee and Development Committee joint meeting, we were discussing those issues, how EU, what EU needs to do in order to provide humanitarian assistance. I was recently visiting Lutsk, Rivne and Kiev, just a few days after both Lutsk and Rivne were attacked the first time by Russian missiles. So-called electricity distribution centers were hit, and I was discussing with local authorities what they need for the winter, and as I understood, one of the priorities is electricity generators, portable ones. And today I raise a question because it appears that, at least what we got information from Ukrainian government, that they need around of 25,000 electricity generators. Today we got an information from EU authorities that till now EU was able to provide somewhere around of 700 generators in total. So I was raising the question, who is going to provide the rest ones, which is around of 20,000. And well, I hope that both EU and cities from European member states, local communities from European states, can coordinate their efforts really to provide what is needed for Ukraine in order really not to allow Putin to win with this what we call winter war. And I absolutely sure that we shall do what we need to do, because the war which Ukraine is fighting is also our war.
Yeah, it's good to hear. But now let's get back to the accident in Poland. How was Poland's statement regarding the fall of 2 missiles in Przewodów accepted in Europe? Will military support for Ukraine decrease as a result?
Well, of course, that tragic accident was very much discussed in all, at least in European Parliament. Yesterday we had a special meeting of 2 committees, which was the whole devoted to that issue. Definitely, we are still waiting for some kind of, more of information, which missile from where, was sent and so on. But in any case, this is responsibility of Russia. Everything, all those tragedies which are happening. And this is, consequence of terrorist war which Russia is waging against Ukraine. And exactly today we were discussing among political groups, and we agreed on special resolution which will be voted next week in Strasbourg, and which will recognize that Russia is a state which is sponsoring terrorism, and Russia is a state which is using terrorist means. And then we're saying what consequences of that recognition should be implemented, including raising the question about Russia as a terrorist state being member of United Nations Security Council. That membership should be suspended. On another side, of course, weapons and protection of anti-missile weapons for Ukraine should be delivered on a much larger scale. And I am always raising the question that EU in delivering the weapons is still quite heavily behind what, for example, the United States of America are doing. So I hope that also EU will raise its capabilities in delivering Ukraine the needed weapons.
Yeah, but due to this tragic accident in eastern Poland, whether NATO will strengthen air defense along NATO's eastern borders?
Well, I think yes, of course, but I would be rather even more happy that that NATO should strengthen the defense of Ukrainian borders, and Ukrainians' airspace, because it's very clear that this terroristic war which Russia waged against Ukraine, which she is losing on military fronts, but then she is attacking civilian infrastructure, energy infrastructure of Ukraine, is spreading. Is spreading to other countries. A few weeks ago, we saw how Russian missile landed in Moldova. Now we saw, the tragedies in Poland, and definitely the major goal should be, first of all, to end this war. But the war can be ended only if Ukrainians will manage to defeat Russian army, and that will depend very much on how much weapons they will get from the West. Of course, the borders of NATO countries also should be strengthened, but first of all, we need to win this war, our war, and that is what we are going to do.
Yeah, everyone hopes that. Thank you so much. That was Andrius Kubilius, the member of the European Parliament. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks a lot.
This is Spotlight Ukraine. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Latest news, trends, and analytics on all about Ukraine. Like, share, and subscribe. Any questions, proposals, and comments, contact us via email.